Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
This is Steiny.
Hi.
Did you happen to, in the last 3 weeks, well, all of the Operation, what was it called? ICE
Metro Surge?
Metro Surge, yes, thank you. Did you happen to see the video of the pissed off, clearly methed out Antifa guy raging about what's going on?
I missed that one.
I'm going to pause.
Okay.
And then I'm going to find the video, and you're going to watch it, and then we're going to keep going.
A few moments later.
Okay, so we couldn't find the original video because I don't know why the hell it's missing, but here's the deal. This man, a little while back, went on, I believe it was his Instagram, and he posted this long video, and it starts with, this is like the 14th or 15th time that I've tried to record this. I'm just so pissed off right now. And he rants and raves like a fucking lunatic about how what ICE is doing is wrong. And that's not the part that's concerning. A lot of people felt that way. It's when he starts saying, we got to get our guns, we got to take care of these fuckers. And here's some of the funny language. Like, I can't do it, but you can do it for me, and you should do it. And, you know, I have my reasons for this. I don't feel like I need to explain myself, and I do need backing and support. So anything you can send right now helps. So I'm looking for large sums of money. I'm not going to explain what I'm doing with it right now, but it has a purpose. You'll have to trust me. And then he made statements to the effect of, I will read you because I have them quoted.
Okay, yeah.
Anywhere we have an opportunity to get our hands on them, we need to put our hands on them. And then also, we want to know who they are. We will identify every single one of them and we'll prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. If it has to be done at the barrel of a gun, let's have a little fucking fun.
Wow.
That's what he said. He basically was calling for people to take up arms and defend Minneapolis against ICE like they were an invading army.
It's like against the law or something.
And what happened as soon as he said that shit, I saw the original video when it posted.
Okay, yeah.
Because people put it in Facebook Reels. I'm like, this motherfucker is going to be on the FBI's radar immediately.
Well, I would hope so, right? On some level, if you got somebody talking about any time, go, right?
And he kept identifying himself as Antifa. He's a very open book about, I'm Antifa. And I showed you a still shot of him being arrested. He's wearing a hoodie that says, I'm Antifa.
Literally proclaiming it on his shirt, yes.
Yeah.
So dumb.
So what happened was they got a warrant. They went to his apartment building. They fucking took him out. And it sounded like they were worried he was going to have weapons of some sort.
Right.
Because he was talking about threats of gun violence, but he was trying to goad other people into it. It sounds like he can't legally own a firearm himself.
Which makes you suspicious as to why.
And then there's other videos that surfaced after the first one where people were trying to show what a fucking kook he was. One where he's wearing a dress.
Okay.
And like a sun hat and talking about how heterosexual women are jealous of him because he goes out and he can dance and he's a free spirit and he knows that they know he looks better than them.
Okay.
And another one is a picture of him at Pride where he's wearing a fucking sundress and he's got like a longer beard and he's just glittered. Purple glitter in his hair, in his beard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's a bit out there.
That is correct.
Now, you know what Antifa is, obviously, the anti-fascist movement. They swear that they're trying to stop the government from infringing upon citizens' rights.
Right.
And they have a very Malcolm X by any means necessary mindset. We've seen tons of demonstrations over the last 10 years where they've clashed with white supremacists that were
kind of
marching.
Counter-protesting and things like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's no shock that some of these people have been deemed loony because of their propensity to not just preach but engage in violence. Mm-hmm. So the debate becomes, is all of the shit he said protected by free speech? Threats generally aren't.
Right.
So if I was like, I think that everybody should go down to Cedar Riverside right now and beat the shit out of every Somali they find, that's a call to action.
Right.
And if I add, and I'm going to be down there, so come join me in stomping a mud hole in the fraudsters. And I don't feel that way. This is just a very specific hypothetical I'm using that has hyperbolic language in it. So you get the point. Now, if I'm like, I don't like Somalis. I think they should be jailed. Well, that's an idea.
Well, by way of what the video we saw, there sounds like there has to be certain criteria, right? The call to action, a specific...
Credible threat.
A credible threat, a specific group or person. Yeah.
And he was charged also with online stalking for doxing somebody, family members of an ICE agent in Michigan. Across state lines, that's how he ended up getting nabbed by the DOJ, because they're like, fuck this guy.
Yeah. His mindset seems to be what is common in a lot of politics right now, and that's the any means necessary mentality. You know, like, it doesn't matter how inflammatory my language is, how beyond the pale it is. In any normal day and age, where would you ever think to call out somebody else's family because of comments they made, right? Everybody's
or a job they held.
Exactly. Everybody's their own individual. We all have their own right to free speech, no matter how crazy it is. So when did it become a thing where it was our responsibility to shame them with the rest of their family, their work, everything else now? I get it. The online presences, it makes it a lot different. But still.
Well, why engage in a calm, diplomatic conversation? Why try to talk to them, to reason with them, to bring them to the middle of the road, and then maybe meet them halfway or try to talk them out of their stance into yours, when you can simply use coercion and get somebody to change their mind or act in a way under threat of violence, which is duress.
Yeah.
Which, if the police did it now like they used to back in the day, like, tons of convictions and charges would be tossed, because one thing that factors into whether or not it was a false confession, if you're a defense attorney, is, was the subject under duress when they confessed to the crime? Did they have a reasonable belief they'd be injured, lose their life, like it would affect their family, their job, all of that shit, and they might just get scared and confess to shit they didn't do. Yep. Much like one of the kids in the West Memphis 3 case.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Jesse of the West Memphis 3, I forget Jesse's last name, but Jesse was of like borderline mental retardation level IQ. And they basically told this kid, the other guy's already said you did it. So they coerced him into a confession.
Yep.
I feel like they're not going to take Kyle Wagner is his name, by the way, of Minnesota. Kyle Wagner, the Minnesota Antifa guy, is how he's pretty much known online.
Yeah, at this point.
And I don't see how he could say somebody coerced him into it. He was pissed off after Renee Good was murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Or should I say killed? I mean, I basically, you get some people on the right that are like, don't use the word murdered. It's a very charged language. But,
inflammatory. I get it. Yeah.
But I did see an officer basically fire the kill shot when he was on the side of her van, not in front of it. Yeah. It's hard to deny that shit, as much as Kristi Noem tried to say she was a domestic terrorist and he felt threatened for his life. Come on. Let's be fucking serious here. Yeah. But Kyle is a special case. And as much as I could sit here and talk about Antifa and how I don't like their tactics, there's a reason why I wanted to do an episode on this jackwagon and why I waited 3 weeks.
Sure.
I wanted to make sure that there was as much information to pull from to make fun of him as possible, to see if he flips and anybody else gets arrested. I haven't seen shit. It's gone radio silence on him since he was arrested. So unless there's people in signal chats, which was a big thing during Operation Metro Surge, they'd use signal chats to say, here's where ICE is, go there, go here, go there, go intercept. And Kyle has a big resist tattoo across his chest. He takes it very seriously. And to a degree, I will say, golf clap, kudos for committing to the bit. You believe in something enough that you are steadfast in your conviction to go out there, boots on the ground. Not everybody will do that. There's a lot of keyboard warriors. But you get to a certain point where you cross this line of demarcation where you are no longer boots on the ground. You're a fucking loon, dude.
Right. The tactics come into question, right? Nobody will question your ability to go, or your feelings, motivation to go out there and do something, right? It's just what you do with that motivation that can be harmful.
Well, here's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
He's Antifa. He's locked up right now.
Mm-hmm.
There are two groups of people that dominate the prisons in this nation: blacks and Aryan white boys.
Sure.
And everybody sticks to their color in federal prison. He's going to go to federal prison. So the guy that's anti-fascist goes behind bars. He's white, the blacks don't like him. He's Antifa, the whites don't like him because they're very pro-fascism. So the guy that calls people Nazis is going to have to throw himself, presumably, at the mercy of the Nazis to defend him, who probably won't accept him because of his anti-Nazi mentality, and that's fine on the outs. But all that logic goes out the window behind bars, because what's he going to do? Is he going to go ask the Mexicans for protection, the Asians for protection, the blacks? Come on. He likes to wear dresses, and it's common knowledge, and they sneak cell phones into correctional facilities all the time. They're going to know he's Kyle the Antifa crossdresser.
Hi.
He probably has sucked a dick or two in his day. Well, he better clear his calendar, because his knees are going to be on the ground and his throat is going to be very busy. Yeah. Whether it's a chocolate-colored disco stick or a snowy white one, he is going to just get fucked in the mouth repeatedly. And if you're Antifa and you go to federal prison, I don't see how the fuck that it would ever be a winning scenario. And some of this conversation I've kind of had to myself the last week and a half while formulating the website. There is a YouTuber, JD Delay.
Sounds familiar.
So he's an ex-convict that's now a YouTuber that talks about life in prison and political issues relating to prison. Yeah. And he's like, this guy's fucked. He's Antifa. The blacks aren't going to like him. And the fucking whites aren't going to like him. And he's going to have to party with people he hates to stay alive.
Is he like a shorter white guy? Not shorter, but stocky white dude?
Yeah, covered in tattoos with like a pointy goatee.
I don't know why he hasn't been in my feed lately, but I used to watch clips of his all the time. Yeah, little shorts and shit.
He's a solid dude.
Yeah, he is.
And he gives it to you. His favorite phrase is to say that someone is about to be Kentucky Fried fucked. So if that works its way into my lexicon, that's a good JD Delay.
Yep.
So if I'm Kyle Wagner, I am begging them to put me in protective custody and say, I will narc out whoever you fucking want, because he ain't going to last. If he's not going to get raped consistently, he'll probably get jumped, beaten, and possibly killed within 6 months.
He'll probably be forgotten about for the most part at this point. I mean, yeah. I mean...
They'll bury him. The government will bury him unless he gives them the goods on other people. And the fucking videos are out there, man. You can say, oh, that's not me. No, that's you.
Yeah.
Even if you shave that stupid fucking sack tickler mustache of yours, looking like a fucking gay firefighter.
How you fellas doing?
You know what it reminds me of? Is back in the day, I'll just say whatever, however far back you want to go, when the advent of people, when they started filming themselves doing shit, like teenagers doing stuff, like with the paintball guns, going around shooting people, stuff like that, basically committing crimes and documenting it. It was like, how stupid can you be? And this is just the next iteration of how stupid can you be, right? You're recording something, you're being emotional, and yeah, you may not really fully mean all of what you say,
but it's out there.
It's out there.
Once the toothpaste is out of the tube, you're not putting it back in, as my old boss at the jail used to say.
There you go. Great metaphor.
So to him and people like him, as much as you want to go out there and fight the good fight against ICE, against the Trump administration, against what you consider fascists, and I hate that the word Nazi gets thrown around with reckless abandon these days.
Yeah, it's like any hyperbolic label that you want to just go to the nth degree on.
All these people like this better take a good, hard fucking look at Kyle Wagner. He's not a martyr for his cause. He had a noble mindset to an extent, but then he got way overboard with it. And if you're going to push like this, the government's always going to push back, and the House always wins. So I don't know how you think that no matter how many signal chats you have encrypted, or you're using onion routers thinking they won't fucking find you, or you've got safe houses where you're couch crashing and you're online only under an assumed name, they will fucking find you. It's not tough at all. What does the government do when they bust somebody for hacking? Typically.
Oh, right. Yeah. They'll enlist you if you're good enough.
They'll flip you and they'll fucking say, you will be our slave or you will rot in a cell.
Right. You don't get a choice now at this point.
Yeah. So, sorry for you, Kyle. Watch out for your cornhole, buddy.
I feel like this is another example of why extremism doesn't work. Like you said, you can have a cause. It's when you start going too far, when you start trying to engage in violent rhetoric, that everybody has a problem with it. Right? Doesn't matter what side you're on. You lose your cause. Right?
Well, it's no different than all the people that were out throwing Molotov cocktails outside of the Minneapolis 3rd Precinct after George Floyd's death.
Yeah.
And all the people that were throwing bricks at cops and spray painting ACAB on everything. All cops are bastards. To anyone that thinks like that, it strikes me as a very juvenile mentality because you can't see any one group solely as bad.
Right. I believe it's a misdirection of anger, right? You're directing it at the first person in line for a system that has been corrupt for a long time. And that's, I get it, but it's not right. It doesn't affect change in the way you think it will. You know, them burning down
blocks worth of retail and looting.
Did that have the effect? Did it work?
No, because most of the people were only opportunistic, and that's why the National Guard had to be mobilized, and they were walking around shooting paintballs at people on their porches, saying, get inside, and fucking like the military patrolling the streets. And I've said it before, the whole point of ICE coming here, like, the fraud was just the lily pad that Trump used to jump into our environment and exact his will, hoping that Walz would say no and push back so he could then invoke the fucking Insurrection Act. It's a game of dick waving at the grandest level because lives are at stake.
Yeah. Because he doesn't care.
No.
Right? Trump doesn't care, and that's the scary part. And thank goodness we're at a point where it's calmed down a bit, supposedly. I don't know. I do hear reports. Some people say that they're still around.
They will be. They're never going to be all the way gone. If anyone thinks that the end of Operation Metro Surge meant that was ICE is gone, no, dude, it's not.
And who knows? Who maybe knows they were just back to a normal level, right? I think when something like this happens, people don't realize that they were already operating within the city too. They were already doing stuff here. It was just them not coming here in thousands.
Yeah,
you know, on a pretense of something else.
Well, I look forward to finding out what happens to Kyle Wagner and how he likes his new living arrangement and some of his new friends, whatever color they may be, and however they treat him. Keeping you in my thoughts and prayers. Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It? That is at What Do We Call It? You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast show. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm Jman.
This is Steiny.
And that's the end.